Joining me is Brad Poznanski, the Vice President of Enrollment at New England College. So Brad, you know, I work at the college, and we had you on here to talk about the initiative, CC to NEC, nationwide. But I really want to talk about just generic advice. I got an admissions specialist here.
Right.
And I'm thinking, you know, parents and students are concerned about getting into college. I think it's important. A couple quick questions. Is college right for everybody? That's one. And the other question is, let's assume that it's right for you. What are other sort of general advice that you ought to think about? I'll give you one example. One of my children changed his major 4 times or 3 times. I mean, so, you know, that kind of pathway. So those are 2 questions. Is four-year college right for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, it can be right for everyone. I would say, you know, technically probably not. It doesn't have to be. But college is much more important now than it was even when you and I went to school. It is the ticket to the middle class. It's the ticket to an opportunity to participate financially and economically, in addition to being you know, learning a lot and getting a good job. You know, so it's much more important than it used to be. And the pathway does not have to be directly from high school into a 4-year college. It can be, as we mentioned, via a community college. Right, exactly. Then, you know, you talked about academics, you know, what to study and so forth. I think that's a good place for students to start. Even if they don't have the right answer. And who, as a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, can know that they have the right answer?
It's probably about 4% of the population.
Yeah, of what they're going to do with the rest of their lives. But it's important to start someplace and have a plan and begin with those ideas that they have about, you know, I want to direct myself towards science or mathematics or languages or psychology or history or liberal arts or arts, whatever it is that they're passionate about, and let those students explore those subjects in high school, ideally, and that's great when they're able to do that. Let them learn what different colleges offer. Let them learn from faculty. Let them sit in on classes. I always tell students, study the academic catalog and read the course descriptions. And if it's something that excites you and makes you interested, and you know, if it might lead to something that you would do even if you weren't getting paid,
well, that's probably a great major.
Well, then sure, that's right. You know, we don't want to have to. If you're the right,
you want to get paid, but
yeah, if you got the right job, you know, you don't have to work a day in your life. But certainly, parents, in particular, students, do want to study something that will lead to a job, that will lead to a career.
So that brings me to this sort of another question I've been thinking about, is sort of the role of career preparation with the role of traditional liberal arts. How are schools across the country balancing those, which may be antithetical, but they may be complementary goals?
Yeah, well, a student who studies liberal arts is learning the kinds of things that employers want. Employers say that they really need, which is communication skills, people who can think, people who can communicate verbally and in writing, who can learn new things. Jobs change, technology changes, and someone who knows how to learn things and adapt, which are skills that you develop from liberal arts, are probably the most valuable the skills you can have in the workplace.
So unless you're going into a narrow technical field.
Sure, if you're interested in engineering, you got to study engineering or accounting or nursing.
But the liberal arts background isn't dead.
Oh my goodness, no. And a liberal arts foundation for someone who's studying business, for instance, or teaching or education is an extremely valuable component of their overall academic program. So you may have a major in business, for instance, and have a core of liberal arts courses. So you kind of have the best of both.
So we've got about 30 seconds. What's the last one bit of advice you'd give to your kids about getting into college, applying to college?
I think it's, first of all, get off the mark, get started now. I had a son and a daughter go through the process, and in both cases, they didn't listen to my advice. But I would just say that the best advice is get out there and visit schools. Get started, and do it now. The colleges are ready for you. I would love to see students and families come to New England College.
Well, great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's our pleasure. My pleasure.